Welcome to Birdseeds. We're going to follow up with what we did the last episode where I'm breaking down a song. And it's a song, I've heard it, I don't even know how many times, countless number of times. It's another Avett Brothers song. I'm going to do other bands as well. But obviously, we're big fans of the Avett Brothers. So, actually seeing them on Friday for the 21st time. Call us crazy, whatever. But it's a song, I've heard it a million, thousands of times at minimum, right? It's a song they close pretty much all their sets with. So certainly I've seen it almost every time I've seen them, at least in the last, 6 years or so, whenever the album came out. And I heard it in a totally different way the other day. And I'm going to go through the lyrics and break it down, and I'm going to break it down to like the way that I interpret it. And that's like one of the things I absolutely love about music and the arts is it means something different to every single person, right? So it obviously meant something to Seth Avett when he wrote it. He's singing it. I'm assuming he's the main writer behind it. They collaborate, but I'm assuming he wrote the song. And it obviously meant something to him in that moment when he wrote it, no doubt. And I assume that my interpretation of the meaning probably matched pretty close to what he meant when he wrote it. But again, I listened to it the other day after something that occurred, and I just heard it in such a different way, and it really resonated with me quite in an impactful way, I guess would be the way to say it. So let me go back a little bit into like where my head was at when I listened to it. So I had a pretty big moment last week, and I'm going to leave a lot of the details out and vague here, but I had a pretty awesome moment last week where something I've been working on for quite a while, something I'll be able to share with everybody here not too long, and I got to share it with a mentor, somebody that means a lot to me, somebody that I've respected for a long time, somebody that has made a huge impact on my career and frankly my life, and where I'm at in life. And it was kind of, nerve-wracking because, there's an end of an era that associated with it potentially. And in addition, in addition to that, it's like there's, a vie for approval, right? So I want to make sure that this person saw the vision that I saw and, believed in me. So it was a pretty hard thing for me to do. And although that part went great, everything about that really, frankly, couldn't have gone much better. It was also at that moment that I got some pretty disturbing news about, and again, leaving a lot of details and vagueness out, somebody that has been impactful, somebody that's certainly earned a lot from me, talking poorly about me. And to go into my psychology a bit, one of my biggest fears in life, one of the things that I'm going to be extremely vulnerable right now, is I vie for approval. I want to be liked. I want to be appreciated. I want to be valued. I want to be important. And those are all things that drive a lot of what I do. It's one of the reasons I work so hard. And one of the reasons I'm really good at sales is because I'm just vying for approval. And if they approve me, they'll approve what I'm selling, right? So it's that amiable personality trait in me, but it's more than just an amiable personality trait. It's deep down. It's something I'm trying to work and try to figure out why and what I can do about it and all that kind of stuff, because it can be unhealthy at times. But it was just this moment of realization of a fear coming true. And that was kind of hard. That was not an easy thing to sort of to hear. And a lot of times in my life, that would have either wrecked my day, more than day, probably wrecked my week. I would have either spiraled into a depressive state where I would have just not felt motivated to do anything and kind of froze and shut down, or it would have turned to anger. And that anger would have come out as backlash, may have done something I regretted as far as bad mouthing or, taking it to a whole nother level of anger retaliation, if you will. And there's a lot in there in the psychology side of things of like anger is a defense mechanism. It's also a protector. So when you are feeling vulnerable and you're feeling like those fears are being realized, anger is a really good tool that can be used. It's counter effective, but it's good in the moment to protect your vulnerabilities, protect your psyche in those moments. But I feel like at almost every time in my life, that thing that's really just, it's a backstabbing type thing, really would have spun me into either, again, that depressive state or that angry state, or frankly, probably both. It probably would have been anger and then depressive. And I didn't let it do that. I acknowledged it. I sort of said, hey, yeah, this that stinks. This happened, and that wasn't awesome. And that's really unfortunate. But then I said, you know what, though? The only thing that I cared about in that meeting went awesome. That's the only thing I cared about. This was something completely unrelated to that. It's just an unfortunate. But all it did was validate where I'm at, validate my thoughts, validate my news that I can share at some point down the road, right? It's just validated. It's fuel for the fire. It validated it's the right thing to do. And I didn't let it get to me. I acknowledged it. I didn't bury it. I didn't let it just sit there under the surface and eat away at me, which is a huge step in my, because that's, I either, again, get depressive or sad or hide it and it shows up later somewhere else. But I didn't. I acknowledged it. I said, this is what it is. And oh well, who cares? I'm not worried about it anymore. So it was a pretty powerful moment in my journey for being a better version of me. And it's funny, the next day I'm listening to music and I just set it to Apple Music and my radio station or whatever it plays, things I like. And the song came up, the first song that came up on that playlist. And again, I'm just in a different headspace when I hear it. And it was incredibly impactful. So I'm gonna get to it. The song, Avett Brothers, No Hard Feelings. And I think what the song is written about, it's written about dying, it's written about going to heaven and not having hard feelings. And I think that's so true, right? So you can't take those feelings. They're not gonna go with you, right? Or maybe they do, but either way, hard feelings don't do any good to anybody. The way that I heard it is the same thing, but it doesn't have to be about death, right? So why wait until you're going to heaven to remove your hard feelings? Why wait till you get that far to release those feelings? They don't do a good at any point, so release them now. Release them early, and that's again where the impact came from, and when I realized that's what I was doing. But the song starts, when my body won't hold me anymore, and it finally lets me free. Will I be ready? When my feet won't walk another mile and my lips give their last kiss goodbye, will my hands be steady when I lay down my fears, my hopes and my doubts, the rings on my fingers and the keys to my house with no hard feelings? So, again, what he's saying there is like, when I'm dying, when my body won't hold me and it lets my spirit free up to heaven, right? My feet won't work. Am I going to be ready? Will my hands be steady when I lay down my fears, my hopes, and my doubts? So you're going to be confident when you lay down, hands steady, you're not shaky, you're not nervous, you're at peace. When I lay down my fears, my hopes, and my doubts. Awesome. And I love the rings on my fingers, keys to my house. So then it goes right to like the physical stuff. So lay down my fears, my hopes, and my doubts. And now it's the emotional stuff. That's the heavy baggage. And then the physical stuff, which doesn't matter, right? When the sun hangs low in the west and the light in my chest won't be kept held at bay any longer. When the jealousy fades away. Now, man, do I love that. When the jealousy fades away. Love it. And it's ash and dust for cash and lust. Another great lyric. And it's just hallelujah. And love in thought, love in the words, love in the songs they sing in the church, and no hard feelings. So, kind of the same thing, right? So, light in the chest, spirit, not going to be held at bay anymore. It's going to go out. I think that's an important line there for sure. And I love the ash the ash and dust for cash and lust. So cool. Lord knows they haven't done much good for anyone. Right after he said no hard feelings, kept me afraid and cold. With so much to have and hold. Right, that's it right there. Hard feelings, those negative, big, hard, resentful feelings keep you afraid and cold. They don't let you find that peace, that inner peace, that calm, that confidence, that comfort, and it's confidence because you know it's good, you know it's peaceful, you know it's everything you want it to be, right? And it goes back, when my body won't hold me anymore and it finally lets me free, where will I go? Will the trade winds take me south through Georgia grain or tropical rain or snow from the heavens? So it's the journey to heaven, right? Will I join with the ocean blue or run into a savior true? Obviously speaking about God there. And shake hands laughing and walk through the night straight to the light, holding the love I've known in my life and no hard feelings. Lord knows they haven't done much good for anyone. Kept me afraid and cold with so much to have and hold. And I love how this ends. So under the curving sky, I'm finally learning why it matters for me and you to say it and mean it too. So it's all these things we say mean nothing if we don't do them. If we don't internalize them, we don't practice them. It's again why I do this, because I have these thoughts, and if I don't get them documented out, I don't internalize them, and I don't teach anybody else. I don't help anybody else. So even if nobody listened to this, if literally had 0 listeners and nobody did it, it's still helpful for me, so it's worth doing, right? For life and its loveliness and all of its ugliness. I mean, life isn't just all peaches and cream. It's just not all great. It's just, it can't be. It wouldn't be good if there was no bad, but it would be good would just be normal, right? So for life and its loveliness, all the good, and all of its ugliness, all the bad, good as it's been to me, which is a great ending there, right? Like I had it well, other people haven't. And then it ends repeating, I have no enemies. Now, you can be the enemy of somebody else. They can dislike you, and they can badmouth you, or they could try to sabotage you, or they could try to do other things to you. But I have no enemies because I don't care. I don't let that happen because it doesn't matter to me. It doesn't impact me. Who cares? Let them be jealous. Let them be all those other things. Let them be jealous. Let them, be small-minded. Let them think about themselves only. Let them think about the physical things that they have. Let them think about all that stuff. That's them. That's their journey. That's their failures that they're going through. That's not my problem. I hope them well. I hope they have a different change in their mindset. I hope it changes for them. I hope I continue to change for me because I've had that and I'm working on that. But yeah, I have no enemies. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So I'm going to leave it there. Thank you for listening. I appreciate you. And I hope you have a wonderful day. This has been Birdseeds.